Call of Duty is one of the biggest video game franchises there is. It's got millions of players and it's got billions of dollars in revenue. It's faced a lot of scrutiny over the past few years for sticking to the same exact formula and charging you every single year for a different game, and the sales figures have kind of reflected that really. But now they've gone back to World War II and they're even saying they're listening to the fans, but are people actually playing it?
It looks like Activision's regular cash cow Call of Duty is back in business again after the disappointing sales of last year's Infinite Warfare. According to sales tracking website ChartTrack, Call of Duty World War II's physical sales have been significantly higher than Infinite Warfare, at least here in the UK anyway. ChartTrack says COD World War II's physical sales are a whopping 57% higher than last year's Infinite Warfare's. For those who are unfamiliar with Infinite Warfare's reputation, it has the single most disappointing reveal trailer in video game history. It quickly became the second most disliked video of all time on YouTube, and even today sits just behind Justin Bieber's Baby with a whopping 3.6 million dislikes. By all indications, COD fans were just getting tired of the near future sci-fi setting, and they just wanted COD to return to boots on the ground. They wanted the same gritty realism of the first few installments, everything the Infinite Warfare trailer wasn't.
Last year's Infinite Warfare launched with physical sales down 50% when compared to Black Ops 3 the previous year. Despite positive reviews for Infinite Warfare and Activision bundling the highly anticipated Modern Warfare remastered with some additions to the game, it still wasn't enough. So, when Activision announced that COD was going back to World War II, it understandably got old school COD fans excited. COD World War II launched to pretty good reviews and I wrote this. How have I done it to myself?
You're welcome.
And the majority of critics have said it is a positive move for the franchise. But it's also worth saying that despite the increase in physical sales, Call of Duty World War II is still one of the least successful physical Call of Duty launches. Infinite Warfare aside, Call of Duty World War II is the worst Call of Duty launch weekend since World at War back in 2008. There could be a good reason for that though.
The reason may be that the sales data does not factor in digital sales, which according to GamesIndustry.biz is estimated to account for 45% of all game sales here in the UK. This means that, in a best case scenario, COD World War II has sold just shy of an estimated 1 million copies in 3 days in the UK alone. When you look at the stats further, 57% of sales were on the PS4, whereas 42% of the sales were on the Xbox, and the remaining 1% were of course PC. Call of Duty World War II managed to beat out Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed Origins for the #1 spot in the charts, pushing it down to second, whereas FIFA 18 is now sitting at third place, Super Mario Odyssey is at #4, and Gran Turismo Sport is flagging behind at #5. So this is the good news that Activision wanted, I guess. Everyone was criticising, we want boots on the ground, we want old school Call of Duty again, please, we want a proper experience, none of this jetpacking and bouncing off walls or whatever. I never play them, I'm assuming that was the criticism,
yeah, that's right.
That's what they do. Everyone hated that Infinite Warfare and it showed in the sales, so they've answered the fans, the call for this new, I say it's new, and they've produced what the fans were asking for. Like 3.6 million people disliked that trailer for good reason, because they wanted something different. They delivered it, and by all indications, those figures show that the fans have responded. The fans have bought the game.
Infinite Warfare did do quite well critically, and all Call of Duty games do. You were surprised to see that it was still doing pretty well. But no, it's what the fans want, and it'll get people back onto it. And speaking of that, I think that's what this game is. It's kind of like the let's get back into it game. It's like, oh, we've not played the COD game in years, oh, why don't we just try this one out? It's a Call of Duty game. All my mates are playing it. I think I'm the only one that hasn't got the game actually. Everyone seems to be on this or FIFA, and it seems to be that they're liking it. People are liking it. It's caused a bit of server issues over the weekend. A lot of people have had problems finding players in general, like they're literally alone on the beaches of Normandy. And then when they are playing the game, loads of server issues. But now that kind of makes a lot more sense. 1 million sales strong, we reckon, over here in the UK.
There's a trend in the market at the moment where digital sales are far exceeding physical sales. We can only count the physical sales, and we can only count them here in the UK. If the physical sales are reflective of the digital sales, and digital sales are getting larger year on year, then they've sold probably more than 1 million in the UK alone. The reviews have been like really high. You expect some of the bigger gaming news outlets to rate it really high. That's just what they do. It's like Call of Duty, you go 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. I have seen a few criticisms that the game isn't as new as we want it to be. Same old formula with the single player campaign. That's what I was looking forward to. But it's like 6 hours long and it's still got the same cinematic kind of, you know, the concussion crawling on your hands and knees, trying to get in your COs, like shouting orders at you, and you're like, give me a break. And there's all that same kind of tried and tested formula, same kind of turret-mounted like vehicle missions where you're like,
experience over
it's
here,
the same old shit, but it's just a different skin this time. If that's what you like from a Call of Duty, like the interactive movie type of thing, where you're the hero of this movie and you got very limited gameplay, really, it's just kind of
an experience.
It's the experience, yeah. I don't want to criticize it too much. A lot of people are liking this, so I haven't played it. Should I? You guys played it? You probably have. Have you clicked on this video? Or are you one of the people who just won't get it because it's just another Call of Duty? It's kind of the way I feel about it. I was excited to begin with, but looking at the reviews, it's just another Call of Duty. I'm not really that excited. How about you?
I mean, it's not.
Your friends are playing it.
All my friends are playing it, and it's not even Christmas yet, and it's doing this well. So I mean, all this is going to do is get more and more people thinking like what I'm thinking, like maybe they're all onto something. I mean, it worked with me with Destiny 2, so can Activision do it again? But this to me is not surprising at all, really. People said that they wanted it vocally for years now. Basically, since Modern Warfare 2, people have been saying, let's do another World War.
It's great that they've done it, though.
Yeah, and they've done it.
They've listened to the fans.
Yeah, and more important to them than us giving them a thumbs up, you guys giving them a thumbs up, they've made a shitload of money. That's it, isn't it? That's all they care about.
That is all they care about, yeah. You can't argue with that.
Nice one. That's it, guys. Call of Duty World War II. If you've been playing it over the weekend, maybe you're not interested at all. Let us know in the comments below. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here. We've got another video here you can check out right now. There's also a link to our Patreon if you want to support what we do. We'll see you next time.